Continuing on with quadratics, we're looking at factorising. So there are multiple methods for factorising. The ones we are going to look at are common factors, difference of two squares, the cross method, and the ACB method. I'm sure the ACB method has a better name, but that's what I call it because I don't know what it is. Today we're looking at common factor. Okay, so you must always look for a common factor first, okay? Doesn't matter what you're doing, what quadratic, what cubic, what polynomial, you must always look for a common factor first. It'll make your life easier in the end. So a common factor is something you can take out of both terms. So here we have 2x and we have 4. So what is the common factor between these two? Well, we have 2 times x and we have 2 times 2. That's another way we can rewrite that equation. So 2 is our common factor in both terms. So we're going to take it out, and whatever's left over, we leave in the brackets. Other way to think is, what do I need to multiply 2 by to get myself back to 2x? What do I multiply 2 by to get myself back to 4? That gets you what numbers goes in the bracket. So numbers aren't the only things that can be common factors. Down here we have 5x squared and we have 10x. So thinking about the number, 5 can come out of both of them. Thinking about the variable, x, there is an x in both of them. So 5x is our common factor. So 5x times x plus 5x times 2. Okay, you don't have to write this line, that line I just did. That's just me trying to explain my thinking to you. So then we have the common factor in both terms. So we write him down, and whatever's left over, stick in the bracket. Alright, up here, now these terms, we've got 3 terms, but we're still doing the same thing. We're trying to figure out what can come out of all 3 of them. Well, we haven't got an x in all of them, so we know there's no variable coming out of all 3, but our numbers, 4, 2, and 8, they all have a common factor of 2. So 2 times what gets me 4x squared? Well, 2 times 2 gets me 4, then I need my x squared. 2 times what gets me 8x? 2 times 4, and then I need my x as well. 2 times what gets me negative 2? Negative 1. And that's my taking out a common factor. That's handy because this quadratic would be a whole lot harder to factorize than this quadratic. So we've made it easier for ourselves. Alright, there's this other thing called grouping. Okay, grouping is when you have a bunch of terms and some of them have common factors with each others and the others don't. So for this one we can see 49x squared and 14x. Well, they've already got some common factors we can see. So we're going to split this in half and take their common factor out of 7x, which gets me 7x in here plus 2. Then we look at these ones, negative 9y and negative 18y. They also have common factors. We can take out negative 9y, which leaves me with y plus 2. Okay, and so that is grouping. We're splitting it up and taking common factors out of each individual thing. So here we've got another example. 2x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 6. Okay, so this is another example of where we can do grouping. So we can't take the same number out of everything, we can't take the same variable, but if I split this up, I can take a common factor out of these first 2 terms, 2x, which leaves me with x plus 2. And I can take a common factor out of these second 2 terms, negative 3, which leaves me with x plus 2. Now that's quite cool because I can see this is one term now and this is my second term. Because I've only got one sign in there, I've only got 2 terms now. But I can also see that this guy and this guy exists in both of my terms. So that's now my new common factor. I can take that out of both terms. So now I have x plus 2 taken out as a common factor. Well, x plus 2 times 2x gets me that first term. And x plus 2 times negative 3 gets me that second term. And there's my fully factorized quadratic. Alright, have a go at the questions on page 91, questions 1 to 4.